Hey guys, we come out of chapter 16 into chapter 17 today of Matthew's Gospel in our 90 Days with Jesus. And the story picks up right after where Jesus finally has revealed who he is, that he is the long-awaited Messiah. But that word comes with a lot of baggage. Because in that day and age, everyone had an idea of what that meant to be the Messiah. And so I think Jesus wanted to correct that thinking. So he takes Peter and James and John, he goes on this hiking trip, and he goes up onto this big mountain and he reveals his glory to them. And the story is that he's transfigured before them, and he starts glowing. His clothes are glowing, and Moses and Elijah appear before him. And it's a scene of great mystery. And it's really hard, to be honest, it's really hard to figure out how it relates to us or what the story is trying to show us. But I think the best way of understanding the story is to see how it's a parallel to what's to come with the crucifixion. Because here in this moment, you have Jesus up on a mountain in glory, and soon, in Matthew's Gospel, he's going to be on a hill in shame. In this moment, we see his clothes are shining, but what's to come is his clothes are going to be taken from him and gambled. We see right now there's Moses and Elijah next to him, but in the story to come with the crucifixion, we're going to see that the people beside him are rebels. We see in this moment that Peter speaks up and he's praising Jesus and glorifying him and worshiping him, but in the story to come, he's going to deny ever knowing Jesus. We see in this moment a bright cloud and God speaking from it. But in the story to come, we're going to see darkness. And we're going to see Jesus crying out in pain. See, the story is to hint at what's to come. That when we look at the glory of Jesus, we should see the shame that is to come, of the humanity, of the willingness of God to sacrifice so much for us. So that when we go to the crucifixion, we look back at this story and we see all he left behind for us. But this story also has echoes to Moses long ago, leading the people through the wilderness. And it has the same token about it. When we come to this one phrase, where the thing that God says in this moment, in this story. It's in Matthew chapter 17. And it goes like this. Here's what God says in verse 5, where he speaks from heaven and he says, "This is my beloved Son, with whom I am well pleased. Listen to him." So I think the story is trying to get us to see that this Jesus he's not what we oftentimes think of him. But if we listen to him, he will lead us. He will guide us into the places that we need to be, and to the spaces where he wants us to step into. And it might look like the crucifixion. But in that we see that even in the shame and the brokenness, there is the glory of God. And that's something to take encouragement today. When we find ourselves following Jesus and we step into hard times, we can remember that his true glory was seen on the cross.